We promised him he's on the way to talk back. I'm sorry, buddy. What are you turn into a pumpkin in 5 minutes?
This reminded me of like one of those movies where dudes are breaking in, they're crawling around with all the red laser beams. They got to avoid them because that ball went through 3 different legs.
Nobody in the world better at the touchscreen than you.
The last thing he wants is to get boomed on by this guy. Look at the vision code. Look at the concentration.
You were like a kid on Christmas, like running around pictures the whole bit. What would rub Tim Legler the wrong way?
Guy probably would really irritate me.
You'd get 20 right now against him.
Oh, I would love to get out there. You and I were a little two-man. Are you kidding me?
Tim Legler is alongside, and a couple of nights ago, Golden State all seemed to be talking from the same talking points. We're fine, we like our position. Houston is now in the same boat. They're talking out the same talking points. When we were in the Bahamas this summer, we'd have taken a Game 7 at home. And I believed Golden State, and I believe Houston. Golden State looked like Golden State tonight on offense. Why?
It did. And, you know, for me, Scott, going into this game, it wouldn't have been enough just for Golden State to win the game. If they eked out a 98-90 game, I wouldn't have felt that comfortable about them in Game 7. They needed to figure out their offense and resemble the team we've watched for 4 years. Second half, they did. I'm going to tell you why. It was flow, reads, screens, and pace. It was those 4 things. And here's an example of earlier in the series. Now, if I stop right here, bad Golden State, right now Steph probably shoots a step back 3 over Capella because he thinks he's got a mismatch. That's bad Golden State 3. Here's good Golden State 3. Okay? Right here. Kevin Durant comes off, right? Let's ignore him. Let's let Kevin Durant clear out, because what they have been doing is just giving him the ball right there and letting him go to the top of the floor and just run one-on-one right there.
He's 6-17 in this game. That continues to be one small issue.
Correct. And instead, Steph Curry says, well, maybe the good basketball play, the smart play, is to throw it to the open guy. So they make the right play right here. And then this is vintage Steph. The pass and the chase. I haven't seen this out of Steph Curry, because he's going to get a good read here by Looney. Curry's going to come off his hip. You get a little flip back right here, and there's no way that Capella can get there because Looney screens him. So this is Steph Curry at his best. I haven't seen him do it in this series. Pass and chase, and then a great read by his big man. Here's more. Great Golden State. Bad Golden State would be KD probably pulling up a 3 right here with numbers not to his advantage and take a bad force contested 3.
Which they've done a bunch of in this series.
A ton of it, and then we've seen it over and over. This is good Golden State. Starts with this. I love the motion. Curry comes out down here, right? Draymond pops out, hit him. Then Kevin Durant starts to move. So the ball's moving. You got multiple players making multiple reads. Here's the best part about it. Klay Thompson coming up off a weak side screen, and James Harden is right here. He's calling for the switch. You know who makes a great read on this? Jordan Bell. Because instead of going down and screening Harden and letting Gordon jump into this passing lane, he switches it up to screen this guy because he knows he's switching.
And that's
Golden, right? And that's Golden State basketball at its best. The ball touched already 3 people's hands. You get a weak side screen and a great read by a young player, and the ball is delivered, and that's hitting a guy that's hot, in rhythm, in the cradle, with very little time to get it off. That's Klay Thompson. So what I saw in the second half tonight was Golden State a lot closer to what we see them at their best, and that's what I needed to see to feel really comfortable about Game 7. Now, obviously, Chris Paul, I might have picked Golden State anyway if Chris Paul doesn't play. But the way they played tonight in the second half, that gives me hope that they can watch this game and say, you know what, that's who we are. And when they're like that, there's no team in the league that can beat them.
Is that third quarter, pardon me, and that avalanche enough for them to confidently get on the plane, and you just hit the key phrase, that's who we are, convince themselves and remind them, not convince, remind themselves that's who we are?
Absolutely, and I think one of the keys is this. They need to get together collectively and understand they don't need to defer to Kevin Durant. They don't need to do that, and they've done it too much in this series. As great as he is, he has been taking shots that at times he doesn't look comfortable taking because he thinks he's got a mismatch, and their offense stops to watch him. They've got to remind themselves, we're pretty darn good when this ball hops around and a lot of different guys touch it. He can still make a play.
He's better when it moves around that way.
Absolutely is. And tonight, I didn't notice Kevin Durant that much in the second half. And look at the half that they had. Outscored by 46 points over the last 3 quarters. So for me, I'm not saying ignore him. He's got to be who he is. Just be a little bit more selective. And if you're Klay and Steph and Draymond, understand that we don't have to defer to him to bail us out because he thinks he's got a guy he can go on. When they've played that way in this series, that's when their offense has really struggled.
Monday night, we're talking about a Golden State win?
Yeah, Golden State's going to be in the finals.
All right.
They're the best team.
Tim Legler, appreciate you.
Thanks, Scott.